Welcome everybody to Big Ben and Ty Sports Cave. As always, we have Big Ben and we
Yo,
have Wade. So before we get started, we got kind of a lot to talk about tonight. Wade, go ahead and tell us about this Bayleaf Indian restaurant and bar and where it's located, and possibly will you be there this weekend? Maybe.
Right, we got the Bayleaf Indian Bar and Restaurant located in downtown Peoria, a few blocks away on the riverfront from down by the riverfront. It's only a few blocks away from Carver. Great place to enjoy some really good food. It's a great atmosphere, great service down there as well. Place you could take the family or just your significant other, friends, or you can go by yourself. Um, Something different from your normal like burgers and pizza before the game.
right.
And it's like I said, it's just something new to try that I think people will really enjoy. I always enjoy my time at the Bayleaf Indian Restaurant and Bar, and I'm hoping to make it down there this Friday to get me some grub. So before the Huntsville game. So hopefully, you guys come up and say hi if you see me there. But yeah, I'm gonna probably be there Friday, and then I'm gonna leave my car in the parking lot for free and head on up to the game and enjoy myself some Riverman hockey. So stop on by the Bayleaf, guys. Tell them I sent you.
Right on.
Yeah, so get down there, get some good Indian food, and free parking, and walk up to the Civic Center, Carver Arena, and watch some hockey. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
that way you don't have to pay the parking lot fee. Hey, Anthony, I see you're in the chat room here. Hope you're having a good night. All right, so let's get into the suitcase report for the Rivermen. Massey is still in Iowa, and like I said, this is as of right now. We're not. I checked the ECHL transactions, and none of them have been released. So Massey is still in Iowa. CMAC is still in Tahoe, and Divine is in Reading, and of course, Mike Gillette is in Utah. So that is pretty much uh, all the guys that are still called up are still where they were called up. Hoping we get some of them back soon. Maybe we'll see now that the Olympics are over. Maybe they'll do some more joggling with the rosters.
Mm-hmm.
So that is about all I can say about the suitcase report. Excuse me.
Mm-hmm.
So let's get right into this past weekend. Rivermen lost Saturday and Sunday. Wait, and Ben, it's been a long weekend for us Rivermen fans.
Oh yeah,
This was
I've
a very
noticed.
long weekend. Not the Rivermen that we usually see, and I'm not gonna lie on that. Just lack of effort, I think, on some things. Uh, Sloppy play, sloppy passing. Our power play looked horrible. Half the time it was spent in the neutral zone trying to enter the zone. Wade, what did you get out of this weekend? I mean, there ain't much really we could say.
No, I mean, like most fans, I'm greatly disappointed. Um, I actually had to step away. Like normally in my group, I give updates, and I finally had to say, you know what, I'm just gonna check out for the evening before I say some things that I might regret. Cooler heads prevail, type of thing. And I did have some time to think about it. It's not doom and gloom. I mean, people don't need to panic per se yet. I mean, but obviously it was a
Mm-hmm.
disappointing weekend. Getting swept by Huntsville Havoc. First time this season we've lost three straight games. And what I will say,
Evansville.
oh yeah, Evansville. And what I will say See, that's how messed up they got me. What I will say is, look, I know we got some people called up. We got 3 defenders on the IR, which leaves us with only 4 true defenders on the roster. Short bench. You see a lot of line juggling, a lot of people that are playing multiple positions. And it's really hard to develop a rhythm and chemistry when you're constantly juggling positions and lines. I think you're starting to see that take its toll on the guys out there.
Do you also think it might be because, I mean, yes, there are a couple of really good guys that came back and are on there, but do you think because some of the main hitters are either gone or on IR that maybe that's why they failed so miserably this past weekend?
I mean,
Well, the thing is, though, is our top scorers are still playing.
Yeah, and I mean, it's lack of physicality. I mean, we were getting bullied. We were straight up getting bullied and doing nothing about it. And that was the most frustrating part for me because that's part of Rivermen's identity. It's been part of Rivermen's identity since the IHL days. So to see us get bullied and just take it, I mean, we were out there getting wedgies, swirlies, giving them our lunch money, and just doing nothing about it. And that was the frustrating side of things. I started saying, I don't even care if we take a penalty. Do something, like fight, big hit. I don't care. I want to see that you guys care,
Yeah.
And so that was frustrating for me for sure.
Well, it's very frustrating, and it's frustrating to me, and it's probably frustrating to other Rivermen fans. One of our players gets either hit, I wouldn't say a dirty hit, but a questionable hit, they just skate away. That is not how we used to be.
No.
Like Stovetsky on Friday night basically got elbowed. It wasn't called. It was an elbow call that should have been called.
Yeah.
And it took him down. He was laying on the ground, and what did our players do? Just skated away. Like
he was down for a minute too.
Yeah, and of course, some people are saying, well, they had to get on the other side because of a fast break. Yeah, I get that, but it's one of those deals where it's like, man, you got to stick up for your teammate on that one.
Yeah.
And then I'm tired of other players in front of our goalie kind of doing what a Sartran does, and we don't do jack crap about it. We just skate away. It seems like the physicality, like Wade said, is missing on this team, and they need to get that back, because I think honestly, if we get in the playoffs, we're going to get bullied again.
Right.
Because if teams know that we don't have somebody physically that can do it, well, who says they're not going to be playing us as hard as Evansville this past weekend?
I mean, Evansville's pretty much given the blueprint on how to beat us right now. I mean, if you are aggressive, send pressure, bully us a bit, right now we have no answers. We don't have any answers. And so, and like I said, tip my cap to the Evansville Thunderbolts. They got a great squad of players over there, great defenders, great goaltending. I mean, their goalies were on those 3 games. They were locked in. So I don't want to take nothing away from them. Like I said, Thunderbolts are a scary team to play. So, I mean, I would have liked to see things more competitive from our guys. I wanted to see more fight from our guys. But kind of like I said in the beginning, I know with all the line juggling and multiple position playing, I know it can be tough to develop a rhythm and chemistry. And it does start to take its toll on the guys, and it's unfortunate. Coming down the stretch here, I'd like to see guys get healthy and start to develop more of a rhythm and get back to where we once were.
Yeah, Anthony, I saw that he was yelling at Bear and a couple other guys, but it just seems like this team, when they do get yelled at, it's like they respond in a way that I wouldn't respond, I guess. I mean, when I played sports and I got my ass chewed by my coach, I went out there and I played even harder to prove that, I could do things. So, what does it say?
At the start of the season, it was shown that the season was going to be different style of play.
Yeah.
He brought in smaller but faster players over bigger, more physical players.
Yeah. Austin, no, AO is not eligible to come back until I believe the end or middle of March now, I think, because he was put on the 30-day IR.
Oh, geez.
So, yeah, he ain't going to be able to be eligible to come back for a few weeks. We need to find somebody, though. If AO is not ready to go for playoffs, we need to find somebody that's an enforcer, just to have one. Because we got to stop getting bullied like we did this past weekend. Because I'm telling you right now, be our luck. I think we still get to pick on who we play the first round if you're first. But I mean, let's say we get past the first week. I bet Evansville is waiting there for us. So it was backdated. So how does that work though? Because if he was put on the 15 and moved to the 30, I thought IR starts all over again.
Oh, that's a good question.
I mean, I thought the soonest AO would be available would be at least the first week of March. I mean, that's what I was under the impression of, that he wasn't going to come back in February. Now, could I be wrong? I mean, yeah, sure. Like I said,
well, yeah.
But
well, and also, I heard that he started skating, and when he said he started skating 2 days later, they put him on the 30-day IR. So to me, something's still not right. Because I think if he was starting to skate and starting to find progress, I would think they wouldn't have moved him to the 30-day IR. But
right,
I don't know.
So it sounds like maybe in his skate session that they were watching him and didn't like how he was progressing, so they moved him.
Maybe he didn't like how he felt.
Yeah, that's what I mean. So
too, yeah, maybe it was a combination of both.
So I mean, yeah, but like I said, once we get in the playoffs, we got to find a big guy. Because like I said, I think if we have to play Evansville in the playoffs, I hate to say it, but it's probably going to look kind of like what it did this past weekend.
Right. Sadly.
Okay. So. Like I said, I didn't know that, Eric. I really thought the IR restarts. So when you're on the 15 and then you get moved to the 30, it basically restarts the IR. But maybe it doesn't. Like I said, I haven't really had time to look at all their rules. Yeah, I mean, last season playoffs, yeah, getting swept. I mean, we did. We got beat by Evansville. Evansville is they're tough. They're a tough team. When their back's against the wall, man, they come at you. And their goaltending, like Wade said, I mean, Karpinski, who would have thought?
I know, like even him.
Yeah, like he was just amazing out there. Like some of those saves, I was like, what?
That's why I was joking with people. I was like, apparently we got like Patrick Waugh out there. We can't score or nothing, because we were getting some good looks. We just couldn't find the back of the net.
Yeah, no, and we couldn't. And like I said, there's just a whole lot of what ifs this past weekend, and that's really all I got to say about this past weekend. Wade, do you have anything else to add? I mean, like I said, it's one of those weekends where it's just, you know what, put it behind us. Let's concentrate on our next game against Huntsville because that's going to be an important series. And
I mean, it's a downer that we lost all those games, but at the same time, we can't let it get us down enough to where we just keep going down and dwell on that. And like you just said, we just need to dwell on the future games to get us to that championship game.
Yeah, you can't live in the past. You can't let those
especially with sports, future
games, So you just gotta let them go. I know the boys know what they did wrong. If they don't know it on their own, I guarantee you, Trudell drilled it into them what they did wrong, and they just
and this comment worries me, because if they're starting to kind of turn on Guy, that's not good. That's not good at all. That it kind of shows a lack of respect for leadership, in my opinion. And right now, there's been questions of our leadership. But I mean, that's not. It's not going to change, guys. I mean, a lot of people are saying take the C away from Bear. It's not going to change this year. What we have as captain, that's who we're going to roll with in the playoffs. I mean, if he takes that C away from Bear, I think hell will freeze over first. What was that?
From what I understand from one of the guys, is that he laid into them for about 3 out of the 5 hour drive.
Home. Let's see if it worked on Friday night when they play Huntsville.
Right.
That's all I got. That's all say. That's all I
can say. Yeah, that's all I can say too. Because
I mean, if they come out playing like they played against Evansville against Huntsville, but Huntsville is struggling right now.
Right.
They lost the last 5, I believe.
Right.
Yep.
So
5 in a row, and they were just swept by Macon Mayhem in Huntsville. So
yeah,
the thing is, as it's always been said by all of us, what Guy does is what Guy does, and we can't question it because we know it's going to be better for the team somehow.
But that's what's scaring me about that comment is if they're not really taking him serious. I mean, that kind of worries me.
I mean, okay, they went undefeated all January. I mean, why are they all of a sudden like
step up from Alec Bear, Gordon Henderson? It can't just come from Coach Trudell. It's got to come from the players too. That leadership group. So
and I've also heard through the grapevine that some of the players are not happy with their leadership roles, and that kind of scares me too. I mean, that means that the team is not united, and we all know if you're not a united team, ununited teams don't go far.
Look at Quad Storm, for example.
No, I'm not saying you're lying, Anthony. I'm just saying it worries me that the players are not taking him serious. No, I didn't say you were lying.
Yeah, we weren't saying you were lying. We're just shocked that the players.
I mean,
aren't taking him serious.
Guy, I seen Guy get mad. Trust me, I know. I seen him get mad one time at the Owens Center. So I mean, he's intense when he is mad. But like I said, what scares me is if the players did get yelled at, like what Guy was saying. I'd almost like to be a fly on the wall to see what he is saying to these players. And I would like to be a fly on the wall in the locker room.
Yeah.
And And yeah, so I mean,
It was probably a lot of this. F you guys, why the F are you not doing this? What's up
well,
your
he might have.
effing butts? And
Well, he might be. He might be starting to speak French to him because he's pretty fluent in French.
well, and
So,
then yeah, he gets so angry he starts talking in French.
oh, I mean,
I didn't
I
doubt it. I'm not
it's
doubting it.
just very frustrating to be a Rivermen fan this past weekend. But let's look at, let's kind of move on. We can always kind of go back
Yeah.
to discussion for later. Let's look at the standings. So as of right now, Pure Rivermen are leading the standings at 65 points. Evansville jumped from 4th to 2nd this past weekend with 52 points. Pensacola is right behind them with 51. Huntsville is in 4th now with 50. Roanoke Rail Yard Dogs is in 5th with 49. Birmingham jumped up because I think Birmingham was 8th place, I think it was, or 7th place.
Yeah, I think they were 8, something like that. They jumped up for sure.
They jumped up to 6th place with 46 points. Knoxville is in 7th with 45. Macon is 8th with 44. And the Storm is 9th with 43. Excuse me. And the Marksman is last place with 41 points.
That
But,
race.
I mean, yeah. I mean, Fayetteville might rack up some wins here, and they could possibly pass Storm and Macon. So, I mean, right now let's see here, I'd say probably 6th on back. That race is so tight right there. I mean,
46, 45, 44, 43, 41.
Yeah.
Literally,
so
they're on average a point behind each other.
Yeah. If Huntsville gets swept, they could drop back to 6th. I mean,
yeah.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, it is. It's crazy. And that's another thing too this weekend that we're going to have to look at. I mean, Huntsville's going to come in as a desperate team.
So how many points?
They're not.
How many points you get for winning?
2.
Okay, I mean, if the Quad City won 2 games this weekend, they would be going right up into 6th place.
Yeah.
So they'd be going from 9th to 6th. I mean, my point being is that any team of those teams can be shifted again, just like last week.
Yeah. So I mean, like I said, if Fayetteville gets on a roll, I mean, they could pass Storm, Macon, and possibly catch up to Knoxville.
Yeah.
So I mean, this 6th on back is crazy, and really, 5th on back, because I mean, if Roanoke has a bad weekend and Knoxville gets on a roll, they could catch Roanoke.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, it'll be crazy to see how this goes.
I mean, even the Bulls can be tied up with Huntsville in 4th, if Huntsville, or up above in 5th place.
Well, and Birmingham would be above Havoc because they own the tiebreaker against Havoc. So
okay, well there you go. They'd be in 4th place right there. I mean, anything can happen this next weekend.
Yeah, so this weekend's kind of an important weekend for a lot of teams.
Mm-hmm.
Huntsville it's an important weekend for Huntsville because, like I said, they've lost the last 5. They're ready. They're going to be a desperate team. They don't want to lose 6 in a row. They don't.
No.
And and they're not going to want to drop in the standings even more than they are. So, and I can see, Knoxville rattling off. That was my dark horse for the playoffs, was Knoxville. Ben's was the Quad Cities, and I think Wade agreed with me with Knoxville as the kind of the black horse. And it's going to be a couple of games.
Yeah, I can totally see that.
And it's going to be a very, very interesting last weekend, especially when it comes to that.
And I mean, what worries me about Huntsville being desperate is they're kind of desperate and pissed off, and they got some guys that are physical on
Yeah,
that team. So
they
that's
do.
what worries me is they're going to come in here and be physical, and we're not going to be ready for it. So we
No.
got to do something because those guys, like, you got your Cole Regianatos, you got your Ethan Hunt, I think is his name. You got Dom Procopio. These guys can get physical. They can hit you with huge hits. I mean, we got to be ready for their physical play and desperate play. They're going to be putting the pressure on Rivermen. So the pressure ain't
Yeah.
over, fellas.
Right.
you know.
Yeah, and Anthony's right. Fries is going to be hunting.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, 100%. He's always saying he always hunts when he comes back to Peoria. But yeah, that is our standings update. Like I said, it's going to be a wild road to the finish. I'm kind of anxious to see how that last weekend of play goes if it stays this close because, like I said, Macon Fayetteville, like I said, is in last place. They take what, 8, or do they take 9? No, they have to take 8. Ain't that right, Wade? They take the top 8.
Yeah, top 8.
Yeah. So, I mean, Quad Cities is going to be desperate team too in this last month.
That's what I'm saying right there.
And I'm kind of glad we don't play them again this regular season. Just saying, with them being a desperate team, because they know, they like to start a lot of shit with us. So, let's move on to. So we got the standings update. Let's move on to the roster moves. So today, Zach Sirota was released from the Rivermen. Me and Wade kind of talked about this a little bit off air and in a chat. No, it's not the suitcase report because he's gone. He is no longer a Riverman.
I thought you meant the roster changes was the part of that.
No, because this is a different talk. This is if you were in Guy's shoes.
Oh.
And let's say, we got a couple coming back, who do you cut?
Yeah.
I mean, who do you cut? Wade, what is your, I'm not going to say top 3 names. I'm not going to say top 5. It's whoever you think. So like right now, you're going to get Massey, Divine, and Gillette back. Let's say that.
Yeah.
Who are you cutting?
Yeah, and I mean that's a very fair question, and this is the league we're in. Roster moves happen. They happen quickly and often. You hate it. You hate to see some of these players go. You hate to be that, and it's nothing personal against them, but we got to have the best squad out there. Me, my money, like I said, defense and goaltending wins championships. Bottom line, just ask Evansville Thunderbolts. Defense and goaltending wins championships. We got 4 defenders, 3 of them on IR. I think it is absolutely key going down the stretch here. You got to have depth at defense, and we got 3 of them on IR. Out of our defenders, I'm not comfortable cutting a single one of them because we need them all. Terry Ryder is leading the league in plus minus at a plus 18, and he's on the IR. Alex Davis is a plus 7 sitting on the IR. We need a big body like Ayo, who's on the IR. And I don't think we're cutting anybody like Josh Martin, Kyler Fenton, Corey Dennis, Jordan Henderson's wearing an A. So I don't think we're cutting anybody on the defensive side. What I think we need is goal scorers and big bodies. And, you look at players right now, you look at like Jack Suki. You look at Brandon Stoichevsky, unfortunately. These ain't easy names for me to say. I mean, I like Brandon Stoichevsky. I like Amantis Norica a lot, but that's another name you got to look at because we need production and we need somebody who's willing to get physical out there.
Mm-hmm.
Even a name, even again, I like the guy and I like his role on the team, and I would like to see him stay. But we need production, so you take a closer look at a guy like Daniel Chartrand. I mean,
Yep.
it's just what should tell you that these guys ain't safe is look how quick we shipped off Frankie Trezera to get an
Mm-hmm.
extra defender.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Like defense is important, and I think when healthy, we got a solid defense. Now we need goal scoring and we need production. So we need some of these guys to really get it going. You can't think you're safe
Yeah.
on this roster. You just can't do that.
Yeah, no, and I was gonna say, an unpopular name, and that was Chartrand. He To me, he's not an enforcer. I will say props to him for holding his own against Hobbs this past weekend. I will say that. But to me, he's not an enforcer. He hasn't produced a whole lot of points for us. So I mean, he made my list. Suki, I can see him. He would probably be on my list too. And I kind of agree with you, Wade. I'm not gonna cut any defenders because we need defenders.
Because there's only four. There's only four. So yeah,
well, right now, Terry Ryder, when he came over, he was probably one of the best, defenders that we actually had for a little bit. So I mean, I just think. What's Anthony asking?
I'm thinking if Bear didn't have that C on his sweater, he wouldn't have been gone so much sooner. Tino got a couple of shots in on Sunday and didn't even defend him. Chartrand did, hence how I'm on the fence with Chartrand.
Well, and my thing is yeah, I mean, my thing on Chartrand is he had his chance all year to kind of go into that enforcer role. And he's just an antagonizer. That's what he is. And maybe that's his part of his job on the team. But I think it's time, there's a time where, what, I need to stick up for my teammates. And you got to make that choice. And we need somebody like that. Even going into the playoffs, we need somebody like that. I saw a comment on Facebook. I'm not going to name any names. Somebody said, we got rid of all of our enforcers last year and brought, scorers. Well, it didn't really work out for us because Evansville bullied us last year because we had nobody on the team that could, say, no, this ain't going to happen this way. And I'm not saying we need 2 or 3. We just need one solid guy that he's going to stick up for his teammates. That's what we need. I'm not saying we need 4 or 5 of enforcers because we don't need that many. What was nice, and I keep kind of talking about the past, but what was nice about the championship team is we had our enforcers, but our enforcers could also score.
Yeah.
Right.
So we kind of need somebody that, yes, they can score, but when it comes down to it, they can stick up for their team. And Wade probably knows exactly who the guys I'm talking about. I mean, you had Mitch McPherson. He could score. He parked his happy ass in front of the net, and no one could move him. And he would score. But when his teammates needed him to stick up for him, that's what he did. Let's go back to Hags. Hags was a goal scorer, but also, you know what? He would get into a fight, rally up the troops. I mean, we had so many. I mean, Trudell could fight. He could score. And then it seemed like last year all he wanted to do was fight.
Yeah.
So it's like he said, no, I'm going to take the score off my resume, and I'm just going to be basically, I hate to say it, but a goon. Because that's pretty much what he was. Yeah, I mean, Jordan Semino got, bring back Chastain. Yeah. I don't think that's going to happen, babe, because Nate Chastain is probably a little bit out of shape, and but no, I think we need somebody.
Tony Twist.
Yeah, he's way out of shape. So yeah, and Ben, I think we need to get somebody that can enforce. And honestly, you know what? If they can't score, really, I'm okay with that. But I want somebody that can park their ass in front of the net on a power play and get a damn deflection.
Right.
And right now we're missing that on the power play so bad right now.
That's why I miss Mitch McPherson. This dude not only could tip the puck in, but he was always right there for the rebound. He was always right there. And if he didn't put it right back on net, he got it out to like Ernst for the one-timer who would score, or JMP. I mean, nobody understood their role better than Mitch McPherson, and he was a master at it.
And Eric, with your comment there, I was hoping Norica would have been a next McPherson. He's got the body for it.
Yeah. He's
a big body. But, he hasn't really showed me any really aggression. And I just don't think he has it in him. I mean, I would think he would. I mean, look at his body type reminds me of almost like a Mitch.
Uh-huh.
And it's just, we need somebody to kind of fill that Mitch shoes is what I'm going to call it, because that's pretty much what we need. And like you said, he was there right on the tip. He was there for the rebounds. And like you said, if he wasn't able to tip it in, he got it out to the defenders real quick. I mean, he got it where we still had possession. And that's another thing, too, is I realize this team is not winning the loose puck battles at all.
No.
And, it's just one of those deals where it's like we sound like we're bashing the team, and I'm not trying to sound that way. But this is not Rivermen hockey that we're used to. No. And I know the guys are so much better than what they've been playing. I mean, like I said, Bear had a great season last year on scoring. He did. Where is that at? I mean, he's leading in points because he's got so many assists. And then you got, McChesney. He kind of fell off this weekend again, too.
He was pretty much invisible all 3 games, which shocked.
And you're right, Anthony. It's been like this for the last few months. It's like they can't get a full 60-minute game. It's like they play for 20, and we might play for 5 more, so 25 minutes. And then it's like, well, we got to hold on. So, yeah, and I've heard that from a lot of people, Anthony, that, they've been Rivermen fans for over, and this is probably, they didn't say the worst team they've seen, but they said the worst effort they've seen in a long time. Right. Not consistent enough for a long time.
The least physical.
And yeah. So I really think if I was in Guy's shoes, and you know what, I don't really want to put myself in Guy's shoes.
I don't,
because he's probably getting a lot of heat for all this, but I mean, I would have to look at the roster and say, well, who's producing, who's not. And like I said, I like Stovetsky, or however you say it. I would hate to see him go because he gives us effort. It's not like he doesn't give us efforts,
Yeah.
but it's just he might not be the right fit in the playoffs. I don't think Chartrand will be the right fit for the playoffs. I don't think Norica. You know, I'm really hoping we get Mike Gillette back.
Yeah.
I mean, he kind of reminds me of a Mitch in a way. He tries to park in front of the net, you know, screen the goalies and stuff like that. I don't see us getting Devine back. I just have that gut feeling that we don't see him back this year. And Massey, who knows? I would love to have Massey back.
Yeah.
And you know, and honestly, I'm not getting into the goaltending, but honestly, I would not mind seeing C-Mac back. Just to give Tino the extra rest that he needs sometimes. Because I'll come out and say it. Yeah, he did look better on Sunday, but he was rested. So I really think if Tino gets more rest, the better he's going to be.
Yeah.
So, and he's not an everyday starter
No.
like everybody wants him to be. He's not, and people are just going to have to realize that. But this past weekend it was a whole team effort loss.
Yeah.
Right, I'll agree with that. I'll
This
agree with
past
that.
weekend. So I mean, does anybody else have anything to say on roster moves slash?
No, I just hope the ones that need to be healed that we need that are on the IR heal sooner than later, so that way they can get back on the team to be the enforcer or be the one that gets the more goals in.
And I like I said, especially from bubble guys, I don't want to see complacency. I don't want to see them acting like they're comfortable and safe. I want to see you guys play like you're fighting for your job, because you are. You're fighting for a spot on this roster to be in the playoffs with this team and compete for a cup. Play like it.
Right.
And also, if I was maybe in Guy's shoes, you know what comes off this weekend?
Letters.
Letters come off. And you know, it worked the last time. And to kind of answer Anthony Stewart's comment there about they can't all be twisters, chasers, Deons. I agree with you besides one name. And people are going to probably hate me with this. I really wasn't impressed with Cody Dion. You know, we got him. They hyped him up to be a big enforcer. He maybe fought maybe once I've seen, and then he just kept getting hurt. So I mean, as a player, he was a decent player, but with all the hype, you know, they all said, well, he's going to be our new enforcer or whatever. I really didn't see it. I saw more of an enforcer out of Hageman, and he was our captain and stuff. So, I mean, Wade, do you have any comment on Anthony's comment on that?
Yeah, kind of like that. And also, to me, like even the second time Jake Hamilton came back, like, oh, here's another enforcer, tough guy that can fight. It's like, yeah, but he really didn't. I mean, he really didn't at all. Cody Dion, like I said, he was a fighter, but he acted more like a Chartrand, just an antagonizer that drew attention to him. But he really didn't fight the way you would expect to see, like say, like a Trudell or something like that fight.
Mm-hmm.
Or Dennis Sicard.
Yeah. You know, he just didn't drop the gloves and start swinging, you know. So it's, you know, like I said, and this is why I miss, you know, on defense, like like a big body like Dadazhanov. God, I wish we had Dadazhanov
Yes,
back.
me too. Me too.
You know,
I do miss Dads.
I
He
mean,
was
a plus A defender and could hit people, and good luck in a fight against them.
yeah, because he was a pro fighter. I don't know if everybody knows that. He was a pro fighter over in Russia. And
Yeah.
he gave up pro fighting to become a hockey player. And he didn't drop the gloves very often, but when he did, the
Yeah.
other guy really had no chance. I mean, and that's the thing too, Anthony. I hate when we bring Ryan Devine back. I'm sorry, but I hate when we do that. He he takes up a roster spot. He can't score to save his life. He's just. I like the guy. I'm not saying that he's a bad guy, but you're right, a nostalgic act. It is. It's like, hey, look who we signed. We signed this big enforcer, and nothing happens. So it's like you hype it up and then nothing happens. So I'm sure Guy is pulling his hair out. I'm sure he is a lot of sleepless nights right now trying to get this team back on track. And it's just, speaking of getting on track, I hope they do get on track this weekend. Rivermen are home this weekend, Friday and Saturday against Huntsville. Hey, Sammy, how's it going? And I just think we need to have a good weekend at home.
Yeah.
We need to get a win at home. Friday night was very disappointing. I thought we would have came out with a lot more fire being at home. We haven't been at home in 2 weeks?
Yeah, like
Almost 3 weeks. Yeah.
Right.
And I would have thought we would have been, going, come in with a lot of energy, and it just seemed like they came out flat. So this weekend, like I said, is a very big weekend for us to come home, play in our own barn, and yeah, I kind of see that, Austin, like a Cole Crowder or a Mike Moran. We need Tristan Trudell 2.0, but we need Tristan Trudell from the first season that he played. Because the first season, like Wade can back me up on this, he could score, he could pass, he could do everything. If he needed to fight, he could fight. We need somebody kind of like that. But as of right now, I would be okay with just a fighter. Right now, just one. That's all I'm asking.
Yeah.
I think we would be fine with just one. We don't need a whole roster full. Just one.
And I never thought I'd have to ask that as a Rivermen fan.
Yeah, and like I've seen all weekend, this team is soft. This team is soft. It is. And if you don't think this team is soft, are you living under a rock? Because a lot of people are saying it's the leadership. And you know what? It may be. It may be. We don't know. Like I said, we don't know what happens behind closed doors. It's very frustrating to watch. And I really hope this weekend, like I said, Friday and Saturday at 7:15 puck drop against Huntsville, we kind of find our identity again, as Peoria Rivermen have had the identity of hard nose, in your face, aggressive, physical hockey. Because right now we are lacking in 98% of that. So Wade, what's your comments going into this weekend against Huntsville?
Well, like I said, we are at home. Huntsville's a desperate team that's also struggling. And kind of like I mentioned before. I don't want to see complacency. I don't want to see people playing it safe. Um, I want to, like I said, be fighting for your job. Act like you want to be here, and stick up for the teammates. And, take chances. You know, a crazy bounce, puck can find the back of the net. I mean, get to rebounds. Don't be afraid to get physical to get to rebounds. Win those puck and board battles. I mean, I just want to see fight. And I don't necessarily mean drop the gloves and fight, but I want to see fight in this team. Play like you guys want to win a championship, because the effort you gave us the previous 3 games was far from that. So I need to see something more, especially being home. These are important games. We need to get back on track. We can't keep slipping in the mediocrity. I mean, we can't do that, because that sets us up to fail when playoffs come. So,
Mm-hmm.
I want to see this team get back on track, take chances, take some risks, finish your checks, stick up for one another, be aggressive, just play the opposite of what you did in Evansville. That's what I want to see. So hopefully they can deliver that for us, because they're going to have to, unless they want to get swept again by Huntsville Havoc. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think that would be, if we got swept this weekend at home. I'm not saying that's going to be the nail in the coffin, but something would have to change then.
Yeah.
I mean, and they think some Rivermen fans are mad now. If they get swept this weekend, whoa, that's all I got to say. So yeah,
team effort in Evansville. That's exactly what's going to happen. They can't play like they were playing in Evansville and expect to be successful.
Who's going to start on Saturday? Because might be at the game. Austin, I don't know. I don't know anymore.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm not going to even talk about the goalie situation, because, it just seems like we're a bunch of assholes on here. So I'm going to try to stay away from the goalie conversation, probably for a little while, because, it just seems like when we criticize, and you know what, I'm going to say it right here. Boss looked horrible last Saturday. That's probably the worst I've seen him, to be honest. Yes, he made some good saves, but, that was probably the worst I've seen him. And, and people are always, and I try to be brutally honest, Anthony. I really do. With me and Wade and Ben, we try to be honest on this, but, it just seems like people are saying, oh, we just talk about Tino. We just talk about Tino. Well, Jack hasn't really gave us a reason to talk about him. Besides Saturday. Like I said, Saturday was probably the worst I've seen him. But, he had better numbers on Saturday. So I don't know. If you want my prediction this weekend, Tino Friday, Jack on Saturday. That's my prediction.
I think I agree with that one.
Wade, do you agree with me on that one? I mean, do you think we see Tino Friday night and Jack on Saturday? I mean, I'm not trying to get in the conversation, but
yeah. And I mean, heading down the stretch, only a 2-game set. If I'm being really, really perfectly honest, I want to see Boss in both games. But I know that's not going to happen. So, like you said, it's very likely we see Tino Friday and Boss Saturday. But man, wouldn't that be something to see Boss in both games? Put a little
Yeah,
faith in a goalie, realizing
yeah,
Boss is your number one goalie. Put a little faith in him and stick him in both games. Some magic might happen. God
yeah.
forbid. It's just like,
And Anthony, that's good to see. I'm glad he was taking that loss hard because I know Jack. I've spoken to Jack, and he's going to come out with vengeance the next start, and I think he'll be a lot sharper. And it's just one of those deals where it's like, you know what, okay. I mean, I don't want him to be so hard on himself that he thinks that he has to do it all because I'll say it straight up too. This past weekend, they haven't helped the goaltending at all. So yeah, excuse me. So before we get to our big three, Ben, do you have any racing news? I think Lucas
Well,
Oil's racing tonight down in
yeah,
Florida.
Lucas Oil. It's video game racing. I got my copy of Sprint Car Road to Knoxville.
There you
So,
go.
so on days off, when it's a rain game, then I have something to play racing with.
There you go.
So,
Uh,
and like I said
so
before,
yeah,
we'll be going to Fairbury, Spoon, and Peoria for the 3 tracks this year. So, unless it's a bigger, race in the area, but we're going to cut it down to those tracks this year because it's more likely going to be ones that Ty is going to be racing at, so we may as well just focus on those tracks.
yeah. So all right. Well, that's the racing update part of the show. Thanks, Ben, for that. So let's get into our big three. Ben, go ahead and give us your big three of the game Friday night because we will have a show Saturday, so we'll do big three for Saturday night.
So, like
On
I said,
Saturday.
I agree with having you said Tino first on Friday, and I like to see him there. Again, just someone really needs to step up, whether it be whoever, just someone needs to step up, like you said, an enforcer role, because that'd be like another thing we need. And just set the tone by getting the first goal and making them work to try to beat you instead of you trying to work to beat them. Make them do the work and have them fail. And that would be my big three keys to the game.
All right, Wade.
all right, I'm going to start um, with the player side, and I'm going to highlight what I call the bubble guys, who I think are really on the bubble. And before I say these names, if by any chance they're watching, it's like, guys, I want you here. I want you in a Riverman sweater, and I want you to be successful. That's why I'm saying that thing. If I didn't care, wouldn't even mention your name. Wouldn't I'm very passionate. Everybody knows that. I love Riverman hockey, and I respect everyone that puts on that jersey. And I want to see them successful here in Peoria and play for us. Like I said, it is business. Roster moves are made, but I'm going to highlight our bubble guys because I want to see something out of them against Huntsville. This is a big 2-game set. So Jack Suki, Brandon Stoicheski, Amanda Snorrika, let's see something from you guys this weekend. Let show us you want to be here, you want to compete, and you want to win a cup. Yeah, give us a reason to be excited. Norika, get out there, lay somebody out, get in a fight. I don't care. Score a goal, do something. That gets us excited. Stoicheski, You got talent, bud. I love the way you play. Let's see you put a puck in the back of the net. I know you can do that. And Suki, again, he's actually a pretty big guy. And I've heard he's a pretty good offensive player. So let's see the offense. Let's see some points on the board. You got one against Thunderbolts. Let's continue the trend. Let's get some more goals against Huntsville. We need you guys to step up, and I hope you guys do. And then we'll go into the 3 keys. And I'm going to highlight one of my tried and true ones. I haven't done it the past couple of shows, but I'm going to revisit it because it hasn't improved. If anything, it's gotten worse. And that's our power play. Used to have the top power play in the league. We got one of the worst power plays in the league now. We got to take it. We got to do better. If we're down, I've seen us with double minor power plays, 5-minute power plays, and get like 1 or 2 shots on goal. What is that? What is that? Like, that's unacceptable. Like, let's see a better effort on the power play. Number 2, puck and board battles. I want to see you guys fighting for that puck. Every loose puck, I want to see these guys fighting for it. I want to see that effort. A lot of the time against Thunderbolts in those 3 games, we lost about 75 to 80% of those. So we've got to do better with puck and board battles, 100%. And last key is offensive output. Last 2 games in Evansville, we got a total of one goal. I mean, you're not going to win many games that way. I can assure you.
2 goals.
Yeah, 2 goals. So it's like, guys, you're going to have to get more volume on net. It doesn't have to be nothing fancy. Anything can happen when you throw the puck to the net. Could get a lucky bounce. Maybe the goalie's not ready. Maybe he's out of position. Maybe you get a tip in, a deflection. Maybe you even get a deflection off a Havoc player. Throw the puck to the net. I want to see a better offensive output, more shots on goal, and more pucks in the net. So those are my passionate keys to the game and players to look out for.
All right, so my big 3, I'm going to start for the big 3 for the game. Physicalness, we need to find it. Get physical with them, and that's all I'm going to say about it. We need to get more physical all around, or we're just going to continue getting bullied. Control the neutral zone. Like I said, I say it almost every show, but when the Rivermen control the neutral zone, they can enter the offensive zone so much better and fast. I mean, it's just when we don't control the neutral zone, it seems like we're in our defensive zone way more than what we should be. And another one is, help these goalies out. Block some shots out there. It seems like Martin is blocking some shots. I see Braden Barker been trying to block some shots now that he's playing on the D again. But that needs to be all the way around. Michael McChesney is actually really good about blocking shots too. But, it needs to be kind of a team effort on that too. So like I said, that would help the goalies out a little bit. My big 3 players, I'm gonna highlight Alec Bear. He's our captain. He's our leader. He's supposed to lead this team. What does he do going into this weekend after being swept by Evansville? Does he rally the troops, or does he shy away from that? So it's going to be interesting to see how Alec Bear responds. My next one I'm going to highlight is going to be Braden Barker. He may not be, the captain or whatever, but he is part of the leadership role. He's very important. to the team. Does he step up, and take kind of control and be like, let's go, guys, let's do this. It's kind of like what Wilkie did when he signed the last time. He got into that fight and rallied the troops. Does Braden Barker take that extra step? And I would love to see it happen. The third guy I'm going to highlight is going to be Caden Henry. It seems like he is starting to find his rhythm again a little bit after coming off the injury. I notice he's a little bit hesitant still, which I don't blame him at all. I'm not saying that's a bad thing right now, because that was a pretty hard hit he took up in Quad Cities, and so I think I'm going to highlight him because we need him to get back to what he was doing before the injury. Our offense could really use Caden Henry right now. So those are my big three. Again, it's going to be nice being home for 2 games. Guys can be in their own beds, at home, get rested.
Right.
I just hope they're ready for Huntsville this weekend. And because, like I said, they're going to be a desperate team coming off of 5 straight losses and being swept by Macon. I mean, they're not going to be very happy coming into this weekend. So, anything else before we kind of wrap it up?
Yes, I like to say the player, or I should say the players of the game is apparently
Of the week.
Well, the game too, you can technically say, but it's apparently the fans, so it's us. The Rivermen are thanking us for being a good player for the team, despite, what happened this past weekend. So,
and that also could be because there's a lot of Rivermen fans that are heated over this past weekend.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying.
So, Wade, you got anything?
Nope, I'm good.
All right.
Just next this upcoming Saturday at 3 Central is the next show as well.
Yep, we'll be back on Saturday at 3. I don't think we got anything going on that show. We'll just recap Friday night's game and then kind of get ready and set up for this the Saturday night game.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, on behalf of myself, Big Ben, Wade, thank you for all the people in the chat. It's been really good tonight. Thanks for coming out and watching the show. Oh, yeah. There you go. 5 hours. Yeah, you better get your props. Yeah, for driving those 5 hours.
You're right.
But keep liking, sharing. Like I said, we are. I say it again. I am working on some stuff. Hopefully by the end of the season, we'll have a couple more specials guests. We're working on racing stuff. We're gonna hopefully get some special guests for the racing stuff. Working on that, and I think that's pretty much what we're working on. So, like I said, on behalf of myself, Big Ben, Wade, thanks everybody. Have a great Wednesday night, and hopefully we'll see you at the rink on Friday or Saturday. So, and what style do we always do it, Wade?
Well, hopefully this weekend we keep it Riverman.
Right.
All right, guys.
Right.
Have
Thanks,
a great Wednesday night.